Freddie was born in September 2012. After a couple of days he became jaundice. Like most babies, was kind of nothing to worry about. But then after 4 weeks we were concerned as parents, so we took him for some tests. He was diagnosed with Alagille syndrome, which is a rare chronic liver and heart disease.
Mabel was born at 27 weeks.
Then she just started getting ill, didn't she? She was like being severely sick constantly, and we just thought it was a sicky baby. And then she got really poorly, didn't she? And then did a scan at LGI, thinking that we were just going through the results of a urine sample, and it sort of snowballed.
She was born on the time of due date, maybe a couple of days before. But when she was born, we thought everything was fine. Then we went home, and the midwives that come out to see her, she's looked at Leah and says that she was yellow, and she was itching all over the place as well. So we went to Queen's Medical Centre in Nottingham, and there she had an ultrasound done in Leeds General Infirmary, which they turned around and said that she'd had biliary atresia, which is a liver disease.
I'm Jess, I'm 20 years old. I live in Horbury with my family, my 3 dogs, my sister, my mum and my dad, but I'm soon to move to London. In early 2013 I was on holiday with my family and I had a really nagging pain in my abdomen. And after nearly 2 years of appointments, they referred me for a CT scan at LGI Children's Hospital, and I met my consultant, Dr. Martin Elliott, who by some stroke of God is an expert in neuroblastoma, which is the cancer that we went on to find out that I had. My family were all devastated, as they would be. I was glad I didn't feel like I was going mad anymore. I had a diagnosis to work with.
For them first probably 4.5 years, we spent a lot of time at the hospital. It was, week to week, we could be in, we could be out. Yeah, it's tiring, emotionally draining. If somebody had said to me, when Freddie was born, right, this is your little boy and he's going to have all these things done, I genuinely wouldn't have thought I would be able to cope. We would be able to cope with that.
When she had a transplant done, I'd signed the consent form, and it had death on it as well, which was another thing that was getting us down. So all the time we're thinking, we just want them to make her feel better. So we get pushing each other apart a little bit, and it had a bit of strain on the family. But since she's had the transplant done and we're back home, back in our own environment, things are getting back to normal, we're starting to be a lot better as a family now. So we start to be a little bit happy with each other.
Yeah, so initially, from the diagnosis, it was straight into 2 quite major surgeries. From sort of the renal side to the surgical teams, dietitians, all of that, the specialist care that we're not able to access in our local hospital. We found, cutting edge surgeons, that the best in not just the UK, some of the best surgeons in the world are based at Leeds. And we've been very fortunate to have those guys looking after us and looking after Mabel.
If he was off, Malden used to come in just to come and check that she was all right, or, even though he'd been in surgery for hours and hours, he'd come in the middle of the night because she was taken quite poorly, wasn't she, after one of her surgeries. And he actually turned up within 20 minutes of being at home, came in to try and get her better.
I was sent to Leeds because I could stay there and it's not like a normal hospital ward, which I have seen when I have stayed for other things, and that helped a lot. I've had a big team of specialised doctors which helped with everything from my chemotherapy to my A-levels to my fertility to my schooling, friendships, everything.
He was incredibly poorly and he was in intensive care at Leeds, but they were amazing with him, and what they did for him, out of this world. We're very fortunate that Leeds is on his doorstep, and we've got the liver unit and the heart surgeons all under one roof. You do know that you've got all them incredible people at Leeds that will just pull together, and they've persistently made Freddie better for us.
We're convinced that without the sort of care that Mabel's had at Leeds, she probably wouldn't be here. So, we've had some pretty sort of rough times, and the specialists there have been absolutely amazing.
Hi, I'm Adam Glazer. I'm a professor of paediatric oncology in Leeds. I started off my clinical life as a consultant paediatric oncologist, and currently I am the research lead at Leeds Children's Hospital. So Leeds is a fantastic place because we have a huge NHS trust. Leeds Teaching Hospitals is the second biggest NHS trust in England. Over the last 5 years, we've doubled the number of clinical trials that we are able to offer to children and their families in Leeds. And actually through significant research advances, we've now got much better outcomes for young people diagnosed with cancer.
To access all of the treatments that I've been given, especially some of the clinical trials, if Leeds hadn't have offered those, I would have had to look at moving to Germany and raising so much money. And because of the care that the LGI provided and how dedicated they were, it got me on the trial.
The NHS does deliver research, but we're able to deliver research much more effectively and efficiently through adequate staffing, adequate facilities, and a better environment when we have the benefit of extra support which comes from the research sector, from charities and individuals who see the relevance of this and thankfully support us and hopefully will continue to support us.
One thing you can do, I think, is if you're able to, is give back. Try and raise some money to make that process of whatever it is they're trying to raise money for a lot easier. And that's what we tried to do. We saw an opportunity that we could help out and give something back to them from all of that they'd given to us. So we did an online auction. Yeah. We did some physical events to run 100 miles in 24 hours. Just things like that, and just trying to raise as much money as possible, because that's one little way that we could help back. And actually we were invited a couple of weeks ago to the opening of the parents' rooms up on the ward.
I mean, those rooms are really important as well, because those family rooms are sometimes you can spend weeks there.
As a family, we've had so much support with the fundraising. Everybody's wanted to get on board, particularly because Freddie's was a baby, very cute. So everybody wanted to give something and do something for us. So this year we'll have raised over £100,000. Freddie obviously has won his Outstanding Bravery Award. We received a Point of Light Award, and that was for myself and my husband, and that was recognising the fundraising.
Dr Bernard left us £1 million, and it's with some of the investment income from this that LeedsCares was able to support us to have enough money to build this age-appropriate 6-bedded clinical research facility. We now have undoubted, clear evidence and proof that research-active clinical units deliver better quality care and better quality outcomes. I think until we can cure every child of whatever illness they have, so one, they survive and live, but also not only just live, but actually get back to a point in their life that they would have expected to be at if they'd never been ill, then we've really been successful, and that's what success looks like to us, I think, within clinical services. These teaching hospitals are absolutely committed to delivering as much research as possible. Research should be an always event.
They are saving your child's life, and what is more precious than that?
Because since she's been born, all I've wanted to see is her eyes white, not yellow. And since after she had the transplant done, her eyes was white. When she opened her eyes, it was white, and that's the only thing I've been looking forward to.
Now that I'm at the end of my treatment and I only have to go every 10 days, it's nice to go to the LGI to see the doctors and nurses. It's not the everyday routine, it's refreshing.
She's just all bubbly, jumping around in my arms, smiling all the time. It's like she's never been ill.
We've had some particularly hairy times there, but I always, I always come out just feeling really grateful that I don't feel unlucky. And now I'm crying. I feel very lucky that we've had him at Leeds. Sorry, I'm gonna have to get kitchen roll out. Right, I'm stopping now.